we need to get deeper into your White Sox now.
Yeah,
As lots been going on.
wonder where to begin, but why don't we just start with what happened most recently? And last night, I would say, as you pointed out when you sent me the MLB has been teasing the starting pitching matchups in this series
This has
against the
been
Brewers.
billed as almost a World Series preview
Yeah,
in Milwaukee.
it kind of has, and the starting pitching matchup
Whew.
lived up to it last night.
It's only going to get better as the series goes on.
Yeah,
The ERAs
especially
for both starters keep dropping as we get to
yes,
Sunday.
yeah, Sunday's going to be insane. But when starters left the game, it was a 1-0 ball game. Sox losing. The home plate umpiring of John Lipka was in question all night. Uncharacteristically, Lucas Giolito had 5 walks. He does not walk 5 guys in a game. There were a lot of pitches on both sides, but it seemed towards the end of the game, it really swung into like a home team
Wow.
favor, to the point of La Russa questioning why La Russa was coming out the dugout. Like, I think people thought, oh shit, Tony's fucking up again, like early in the season.
I was watching that. That's the first thing I thought. I'm like, you can't come out twice. Like, what are you doing?
You can't come out. He's only thrown to 2 batters. You can't take him out of the game.
That's right. That's right.
And so I'm like, and Robin and I were sitting here, and I'm like, I think he's coming out to yell at the umpires because clearly
maybe he was sleepwalking. It was like well after his bedtime, wasn't it?
Burr had thrown in 2 awesome high strikes that were totally in the zone. Thank you, Pitchcast, and I hate you, Pitchcast, because life might be a lot.
It'd be better not to know.
It'd be better not to know. It'd be better just to look on the screen and be like, oh yeah, I can see why that was a ball. Yeah, maybe it was a little high, but we know now. We know everything, and it consumes us as fans.
Technology just sets off triggers of rage now.
Yes, and uncharacteristically this season, I was dropping F-bombs at the TV last night. And
uncharacteristically,
yeah, I don't really get that. I don't get too crazy about the games anymore. Like, playoffs is a different story.
Okay,
but like right
You're
now,
just waiting for the playoffs. I see.
Yeah,
just chill. I get it.
Yeah. So La Russa, who has not been thrown out yet this year, came out to speak his mind and got tossed. And I got to say, as a White Sox fan, it was great to see that. Actually, I was happy he got tossed. I was happy he said what needed to be said, because the Sox, and he was right in the post game. Those calls did not decide that game. All of Aaron Bummer's pitches that were balls were fucking balls.
Yeah, I was going to argue with you there if you're going that direction.
But Burr came back and really threw 2 very good strikes, and that could have stopped the bleeding at 3-1 in that inning. Instead, it then leaves the inning open to what I thought was a very good pitch that got turned on by Taylor for a grand slam. I mean, it was high and inside. I doubt it would have even been called a strike, even though it was going to be a strike. But he guessed right. I mean, he must have been looking for it. There's no way you hit that ball out of the park.
That almost felt like there's so much momentum going their way. It was just kind of an inevitable outcome almost. But
Then led to Yoan Moncada at bat on a ball that was at his ankles, gets called a strike, and Tim Anderson then gets ejected from the ball game.
Oh, I had turned it off by then. I didn't hear about that.
Oh yeah, Tim Anderson lost his shit on the bench. He then gets ejected by Lipka, and as Stone said, Lipka's probably going to go back and watch the tape and realize he did not have the best day behind the plate. Or maybe he doesn't and doesn't give a shit. He had the demeanor of someone who wasn't up for it.
Well, you can't really show that. I mean, any ump is going to defend themselves certainly at the moment. Maybe not after they see the statistics and the video breakdown, but
yeah, I can't wait for the posting on the MLB scorecard to come out on that game. I mean, the Sox are already hurt the second most in all of the majors by umpire calling. So it'll be interesting to see how terrible his scorecard is.
Make sure you tweet that out.
It'll be later today. It'll come out later today. So there was that, but the game for 6 innings, and you, like you said, you were watching it. It lived up to the tension was there. It was great. It must drive you nuts to be watching a White Sox Brewers game and they talk about it being a World Series game. What are your thoughts on something like that?
Before the game, yes, it was definitely my dauber was down, as they say. When I heard that, that would be a Cubs fan's worst nightmare, as the World Series would basically keep driving by Wrigley Field as they were playing 90 minutes apart as you travel from the south side to past the north side, but to what is called Wrigleyville North. For obvious reasons. But first of all, I was impressed with how many White Sox fans showed up, and just the crowd there in general. It felt like a playoff atmosphere. It was cool. Really, during the game, I was excited to just watch some good baseball. So it didn't crush my soul to see those two teams playing so well. But I think it's not being overhyped in any way. I think there's a legit shot these teams could face each other in the World Series. I think it's cool, especially when, like we talked about, these pitching matchups going forward. I mean, when Lucas Giolito has the highest ERA of the 6 starters that are going to be going in the series, you know you're in for something good. Who do we've got tonight?
At 3.9.
Yeah, 3.9.
Yeah.
Everyone else is sub 3, I think.
Yeah, it's Rodon and what is tonight's match?
It's not Woodruff. It's Corbin.
Yeah, Rodon and Corbin Burns.
Well,
so that should be a interesting matchup.